Martin's Test Shaves, Sunday the 23rd of November. I'm going to use some Martin de Condré, which is very kindly gifted to me. And I'm going to try and whip up a little bit of a lull. It's very fine, very posh. Very posh. But anyway, I was going to do a little bit of a test today on Eskilstuna razors. Now, Swedish steel is obviously very high grade. I can't get a big one for the life of me. The big razors seem to elude me. Our wonderful friend Anthony has, Mr. Fox has one. He's just picked up a really big Eskilstuna made razor, which I imagine is a C.V.Heljestrand. I'm not absolutely certain on that, so I'm talking a load of rubbish. However, let me get this lava going. This is actually quite famously good soap, so just bear with me 2 seconds. Yeah, that's good. We're talking about 3 days plus of stubble, so should make a reasonable effort. Anyway, about the Swedish steel, I've got a problem. I've got a little one here, which I've tried to rekindle a decent edge on. As you can see, it's very decorative, very pretty scales, some form of bakelite, I imagine. But this is an E.A.Burg, which is a very good maker. Unfortunately, it's a very good maker, but I can't put an edge on it. It's giving me problems. However, as a comparison, here in its original box, we have C.V.Heljestrand Eskilstuna, Sweden, and this one is a number 4, and this is C.V.Heljestrand Eskilstuna. Again, the usual very small blade. It's certainly not quite 5/8, but very good steel. This one hanging hair tested absolutely brilliantly, whereas this little bugger, much as I tried, I've put this on several grades of polishing compound and still no luck. So this has been put on green and white compound, many laps, many stroppings, still no good. So this one's got to go back to the stones. Maybe that was its fault in the first place, I don't know. Anyway, this is a number 4 C.V.Heljestrand, and it's crisp. Yep. This hanging hair tested both directions of the hair with hardly a touch on a strop. So this is very good indeed. Yeah, I was a bit disappointed because when I first dug out the little pretty E.A.Burg, it did actually just about pass the hanging hair test, and I thought, oh, I'll just give it a light stropping, you know, on a pasted strop, which I have here somewhere, so I can't be bothered with. Yeah, I tried the green, I tried the canvas, I tried the white, which is a slightly coarser grade, and no, it wasn't going to have it. So anyway, that one's going back to the stones. Maybe today. Yeah, sweet little razor, this one. Normally you can totally rely on any steel from Sweden, particularly from Eskilstuna. But for some reason, this little fellow, the very pretty scales, I don't even know where it came from. But anyway, E.A.Burg is a very good maker normally. Why this one has been so recalcitrant, I have really no idea. However, let's go on the other side with my left hand. Going back to two-handed shaving today. I was surprised how adroit one can be with one hand. A lot of people only ever shave with their right hand. But all the old books always say 2 hands. So that's how I learned. Yeah, this is good steel. I'd love to have a number 12, which is the big version of the C.V.Heljestrand. This is a number 4, the Diddy one. How they numbered them, I've no idea. Definitely not logically. But that is a lovely little razor. Very plain, as they always tend to be, but extremely nice. So I'm very happy with the way this one's working. Yeah. Goes to prove what I've always said about the hanging hair test. It's the only thing that works for me. Got to be a little bit more precise with these small blades, but they're good. There must be some logic stream that told them to use 4/8 or even smaller. Look at that, beautiful. The moustache is growing nicely. It's been a good couple of months. There was a tradition, as I'm sure you're all aware, of growing a moustache in the sort of support of certain cancers which men get, and I wouldn't say I was doing it for that reason. I was just bored. I thought, no, I'm going to go for a Thomas Magnum and see how it works out. So it's worked out fairly well. It's needs training. It's almost the stage now where you can turn up the ends. Thus. I say, what an absolute cad. A Terry Thomas, for those that know ancient films. A Terry Thomas look. Those magnificent men in their flying machines, etc. I hope I'm talking to a generation that knows such things. Anyway, let's go against the grain just quickly to finish off. Yeah, this is a sweet little razor. So, not that you need a recommend from me, but if you're in the market for a smaller bladed razor, yeah, go for any of the E.A.Burgs, or in this case, C.V.Heljestrand Swedish razors. They ain't expensive, but very, very good steel. I'm going to take my one that won't work today. I'm going to give it a 1 stone hone, and if it still won't work, I'm going to give it a really coarse stoning. But I hope that's not the case. It's only a little razor. I don't want to do that. Anyway, guys, that's enough out of me. That's pretty good shave, actually. I'm fairly pleased with that. It's not quite a 5/8, so I'd say it's probably over a 4/8. But that's about as small as normally I'd ever recommend. But what do I know? Anyway, there we go. Let's wipe it off. Put it down for a second. I shall wash off the remaining suds and get on with my day. But I'm looking forward to doing a 1 stone hone on the little fellow, because it's got a certain charm to it, and the blade shape is quite unusual as well. The grind, for those that are aware of these things, that's a very traditional early grind, and I quite like them, so it's worth persevering. Anyway, that's me done. Yeah, the soap, Martin de Condrey, very high quality. Actually, it's lathered up better than anybody else's. in the last few days. So yes, it obviously stands for quality. That will do me. Let's put something that will give me a nasty bite. John Froome. That's almost pure alcohol. That will bite you. But why not? That'll wake me up on this rather grim autumn morning. Yep, that stings. Very lemony. Oh, it's extremely lemony. Now the sting's gone, so it's nice. Right, guys, one more time. This little fellow, this is the E.A.Burg. This one won't play games with me for much longer. This one's going back to the Stones. And this little belter is I'm very, very pleased with. This is a number 4, and I believe this originally came from our good friend up north, who, James, Sustainer Shave James. Very, 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 very good supplier of fine razors. So thanks, James. This one's worked beautifully. This is a number 4. This is a C.V.Heljestrand, Eskilstuna, Sweden. Lovely. Thanks, guys. I'm done. Hope you vaguely enjoyed this. I'll do a better one another day, I promise. Martin Shave Test, over and out.